I've got a knee out, I've got my foot pointed in the direction that I want to go, and I'm looking in the direction I want to go. I've got my head out, and I'm getting ready to make the turn in, and now my body's ready to offset that inertia as the bike leans over. But when you see pictures of good body positioning, you're seeing the body down low, the head out looking forward, out to the side, shoulders relaxed, elbows bent, wrists limp, because I'm not really forcing the bike to do anything. My legs are driving it, and the balls of my feet are weighting that inside peg. So that's basically what we're looking for as we go into that corner. But I'm not putting the big emphasis for newer riders is not putting a lot of weight, or any weight really, on the handlebars. All the inputs are with the legs. Okay? And so as I'm going around the corner like that, then the inside of my thigh is grabbing the lip of the tank, and that's really what's holding me on the bike, nothing else. Same thing here, inside of my thigh against the tank. And that weighting of the pegs is real crucial too in the middle of the corner. So again, foot pointed toward the corner, shoulder, elbow, face, everything out there and pointed in the direction I want to go. What would you add?
Another thing, and something I like to point out at every track that we go to, I see a lot of you guys riding around, and even when we do body position drills and you start moving off the bike better and getting back and forth, you still ride down the straightaways like this. And then all of a sudden you come up into your brake zone and you come into your corner and you're like, oh, I forgot. This is what they told me to do in the corners. And you get down and you start making your movements. Guys, it should be an entire track process. When you're down the straightaways, there's a reason you tuck down the straightaways. It's good for aerodynamics, but it also puts you in a relaxed position to where you're kind of rebuilding your energy as you go down the straightaway. Also, when you're tucked in that position, it's much easier to get into these positions that Paul's talking about. If you're sitting up with your arms locked out and then you remember, oh, I'm supposed to have my butt off, I'm supposed to be pointing through this corner, it takes effort and thought to get in there. Whereas if you're tucked, you're already almost in the position. Your head pops up a little bit, you do your braking, you get into the position you want to get into, and you're in the corner. So make sure that you're following proper body position everywhere on the track.
What would you add to that?
Well, that was all great stuff. Like he's saying about weighting the pegs and stuff, one thing to remember about cornering and stuff, you want to get your CG, your center of gravity, as low as possible, okay? And as you're coming through this corner, the lowest possible point on your motorcycle is the foot peg, okay? So, therefore, we want to get as much weight as we can on the foot peg and stay as low as we can, like he was talking about, for the CG, okay? I see a lot of people, like he's talking, with their arms stiff as they go through the corner, and they're kind of pushing the bike in, steering the bike with their hands, and as they go through the corner, their weight ends up on the outside of the seat, right? And their inside elbow is real straight, and their head is over here as we're leaning into a left-hand corner, right? So their CG is their mass weight is right in the middle of the seat, and then the rest of their body weight is real high up here, right?
Can you show us that?
Yeah, I can show that. This is kind of... So we envision ourselves going through a corner this way. And here's basically what I usually see. I usually kind of see the hip kind of rotate around the tank a little bit, and then this arm kind of like this. And your knees usually not more than about that off the tank. Where what we really want to do is we want to go perpendicular over with your hips, right? Come over about 3 inches. Rotate that in like he talked about in your head. Just over your inside hand is more than good enough, okay? As we're going into the corner, you're going to kind of stay neutral. Not really up here locking your arms, but the elbows kind of bent a little bit, right? And we're kind of already set up for the corner before we turn in. That way, your bike doesn't get upset as you lean into it by flicking your butt over and flicking your knee out, right? Because that just upsets the chassis. So you want to get set before you turn in, okay? And you kind of keep your arms neutral as you turn in, like this, right? And then as you as your bike gets closer to the apex of the corner, then you want to start coming over like that. The biggest reason that we're accomplishing this riding style like this is to reduce lean angle, okay? When you're up on top of the bike, like I originally showed like this, right? The only way you can make that corner at speed is to add lean angle, right? And then eventually you're gonna run off the side of the tires and crash. Well, if you get your weight over here like this, you'll have less lean angle. You'll be in a fatter part of the tire with a much wider contact patch. And you'll do all this by carrying less lean angle, and you can carry more speed.
How about lever position where your hands are? Because I see a lot of, and I do level one stuff, and we talked about it in that class, that the stock lever positions are up real high. You can see how his are down. So
His are a little lower than I would ride with, but I think I'm a little taller than him. I like to have, like, if you just sit on the bike and you kind of put your arms like that, if you want it to be like a straight line straight down. Where I see some people have to reach up like this. Well, as soon as you do that, you stretch all this stuff through here, and it'll cause premature arm pump when you're riding. Okay. And another thing too is back on that subject. When you're riding in the middle of the seat and you're basically steering the bike around with your arms, right? You're counter steering everywhere like that. You're using these arms a whole lot. Okay. Where when you get your body weight over here on this peg, once you've made your turn into the corner, your weight on the peg here will continue to get the bike to turn that arc. Instead of having to use these arms, use this free weight, okay? Weighting that peg don't cost you any energy, okay? But steering this thing around like this does, okay? Over here, yeah. The quad muscle, is it's one of your biggest muscles. I think probably your biggest muscle in your whole body. Therefore, it'd be something you haven't used before when you do this position properly. So it's going to be a little sore the first day, but it'll acquaint itself to it really quickly, and it probably won't hurt you the next time at all.
Another 15 or 20 ride smarts.
Yeah,
good
you'll be good to go. Yeah, about getting your butt off. Okay, I see a lot of people that are striving to drag their knee, right? So what they do is they get their butt off more to get closer to the asphalt. Well, the problem with that is the more you put your butt off the seat, right, the more it's going to rotate around this tank. Also, it's going to close up your hip socket. So your knee actually comes in more when you stick your butt too far off the seat, right? So watch what happens here, because this is as far as my knee will go. I mean, that's as far as my hip socket will travel with my butt off. I got both butt cheeks off right now. But watch this. Put my butt back on the seat where I only had about this much of one butt cheek hanging off, and open my body up to the corner like that, kind of facing my pelvis and my upper body towards this corner of the bike, and it opened up that hip socket. My knee was stuck out 8 more inches, right? So I'm like dragging a knee with almost zero lean angle. So like that, and then here's what I see a lot of people do, like that. Rotate around the tank. And they got both butt cheeks off, closes up the hip socket. And the bad thing with that is as soon as you take that other butt off the seat, you have to stiffen this arm to hold yourself on the bike, right? So therefore, you just transferred a bunch of weight to here. You should be able to go through the corner properly. Do this. Just like that, go through the corner, no hands. One thing I've been practicing, but I don't suggest any of y'all practice, is go through the corner like this.
Working your ambidextrous.
Yeah, that's a little harder. But yes, you should be able to go through the corner with no weight on the pegs, or no weight on your hands at all.
Ty Howard, everybody.
Yeah.